my channel. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna play some my movie. Also gonna work, but this is a this is okay, cool.
Checkmated the billionaire and took back her crown.
This is 8. Pretend this is 8 point here.
This is
8. The corridor of this game. And it would be so evil. And this is me. And I'll be sad. This is my E. I'll be sad. Because Ape is being mean to me. And boom. I don't know. Welcome to our Object Rocket Show.
Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.
I may not be able to get what you want.
I'm going to
because I don't
check
want to change this thing.
He signed the divorce papers with a smirk.
These do not look like arms.
Won't play stuff and then it comes to this.
No. What pretend you grab stuff to you will grab ice cream.
Holding the hand of his mistress, laughing about how he'd left his ex-wife with nothing but the
Ice cream.
But Richard made a fatal miscalculation. He didn't know that
You will hold the ice cream. Not the ice cream.
She was
Oh,
undercover. And
you will hold this ice cream.
of the decade 3 months later,
And I will search up
regret the divorce.
melt because this ice cream is melting in the hot sun.
Of the law firm
Ah, yes, perfect color actually, kind of. If it was darker, it'd be perfect.
The air was so cold.
But no, it has to be this orange shade, cinnamon.
Olivia sat on one side of the mahogany table.
What second
Had seen better days.
yeah,
Her brown hair tied back
melt.
She looked
And I'm gonna put that this easy ever, yeah.
sat Richard
SpongeBob is on the screen right now.
a sharp navy bespoke suit, a Rolex submarine.
Okay, baby, let's make a bunch of yellows. You just put,
That didn't reach his eyes.
let's make a bunch of
Next to
yellows.
him sat Jessica,
And I call it the yellow river.
scrolling
This
through her
TV,
phone with
the
no
yellow
difference
river.
popping gum with a soft snap every
There,
few
the
seconds.
sky is just a bunch of yellows.
Rick said, sliding the thick document across the table.
And that is my entire synergy. Let's watch the movie, shall we? Check out, this is my room.
Papers. The alimony.
Get out, this is my room.
Her voice was steady, lacking the tremble
Is that
Rick
it?
had expected. I'm being generous, Rick scoffed, leaning back and putting his arm around Jessica's chair.
That's you see it. Oh yes, this is mine.
2015 Honda, and I'm giving you
Yep.
a payout of $10,000.
I know what you need.
That should cover your rent for a few months while you
No, I don't need a job because I'm too young for a job. What is happening? What's the match too?
in green.
Ooh, sorry, Dad. Dad.
Chips mint. Yeah. Baking cookies.
The end.
Books. Jessica chimed in,
That's some good
not looking up
endings.
from her screen. Rick says you were basically a live-in maid who forgot to clean. Rick chuckled. Jessica, be nice. Olivia
Okay,
tried.
so
She just
the sugar butt.
lacks
So
vision.
cutie. Okay.
No, it is Olivia. I'm scaling up. Dalton Tech is about to break into the Fortune 500 sphere.
I'm gonna make a
I need a
noob.
partner who fits the image.
Cute
Someone who
noob.
can walk a red carpet, not someone who worries about coupon clipping. He picked up a gold fountain pen and tapped it on the table. You were fine for the struggle years, Olivia. But I've outgrown you. It's just business. It was cruel and efficient, and entirely untrue. Olivia hadn't just been there for the struggle years. She had funded them. When Rick was a broke coder in a garage, it was Olivia's freelance checks that paid for the servers. It was Olivia who stayed up until 400 a.m., debugging his code while he slept, telling him the next morning that he must have fixed it in a dream. She had made herself small so he could feel big. I see, Olivia said. She picked up the pen. So just to be clear, Richard, you want a clean break. No spousal support beyond this 10,000. No claim on my future assets. And I have no claim on yours. Your future assets. Rick laughed a sharp, barking sound. Olivia, unless you win the lottery, I think I'm safe. Yes, total separation. What's mine is mine. What's yours, which is nothing, is yours. Sign here. His lawyer, Mr. Holloway, pointed to the line. Olivia didn't hesitate. She signed her name, Olivia J. Dalton. Actually, she said, pausing, can I sign with my maiden name since the divorce is effective immediately? Go ahead. Rick waved his hand dismissively. Use whatever name you want. Just sign it. She crossed out Dalton and wrote in elegant, sweeping cursive, Olivia Sterling. Rick didn't even look at the signature. He snatched the papers as soon as the pen left the page. Done. Finally. He stood up, buttoning his jacket. Good luck, Olivia. Really. Try to find a nice cashier job. Simple work for a simple life. Jessica stood up, smoothing her red dress. She leaned at the table, whispering loud enough for the lawyers to hear. Don't worry, sweetie. I'll take good care of the house. I'm thinking of turning your servant into a walk-in closet. Olivia stood up. She didn't scream. She didn't cry. She picked up her old canvas tote bag. You do that, Jessica. Olivia said, her voice dropping an octave, losing the meek, white pitch she had perfected over the last year. Make sure you renovate the foundation first. That house always has cracks in the structure.
I don't know what this person is saying.
Olivia walked out of the room. She didn't look back. As she stepped into the elevator, the facade dropped. Her shoulders straightened. Her posture shifted from slumped to regal. She pulled the phone from her tote bag. Not the cracked iPhone 8 Rick allowed her to have, but a sleek black satellite phone that looked like a piece of military hardware. She dialed a number. It's done, she said into the phone. The divorce is finalized. He signed the waiver for all future assets. A deep voice on the other end answered. Congratulations, Madam Sterling. The board has been waiting. The acquisition of the Kincaid property is on hold until your signature. Shall I bring the car around? Yes, Arthur. Pick me up around the corner. I don't want them to see the phantom. Understood. Welcome back, CEO Sterling. 3 months had passed since the divorce. Rick Dalton was stressed. Dalton Tech was bleeding money. He had promised his investors a massive partnership with Aura Global, the shadowy international conglomerate that owned everything from shipping lines to luxury hotels. But Aura Global was stonewalling him. Why haven't they responded to my emails? Rick shouted, slamming his fist on his glass desk. Jessica was sitting on the office sofa, filing her nails. Maybe they're just busy, Ricky. Buy me lunch. I saw a bracelet at Tiffany's that would cheer you up. I can't buy you lunch, Jess. If we don't get the Aura contract, we can't make payroll next month. Rick loosened his tie, sweating. I need to get in front of their CEO, but nobody knows who the CEO is. They call him or her the architect. A ghost. No photos, no interviews. His assistant, a nervous young man named Timothy, poked his head in. Mr. Dalton, you have an invitation. Not now, Timothy. It's from Aura Global, sir. Rick froze. He snatched the heavy cream-colored envelope from Timothy's hand. It was embossed with gold leaf. by the Sterling Foundation and Aura Global. Venue, the Grand Olympus Hall. Requirement, black tie. This is it, Rick whispered, his eyes widening. This is the entry. The Sterling Foundation is the charitable arm of Aura. If I can get into this gala, I can network with the board members. I might even meet the architect. A gala? Jessica perked up. Red carpet press. Everyone will be there, Jess. The mayor, the senators, the biggest tech moguls. If I walk in there and close a deal, Dalton Tech is saved. He looked at the invitation again. Wait, Sterling Foundation. Why does that name sound familiar?
Because it was your
Sterling
ex-wife.
Silver, Jessica
It
suggested.
was your
It
ex-wife.
just means money. Rick, who cares? I need a dress. Rick brushed off the feeling of deja vu. He was too focused on the prize. He had to look successful. He had to look like a man who didn't need money, so that they would give him money. Meanwhile, across the city in a penthouse that looked down upon the clouds, Olivia stood before a mirror. She looked nothing like the woman in the beige cardigan. The messy bun was gone, replaced by glossy chestnut waves that cascaded down her back. Her skin glowed with the health of someone who slept well and ate organic. She was wearing a gown that hadn't hit the runways yet, a custom creation of deep midnight blue velvet that hugged her figure with a slit running up the leg, and diamonds stitched into the neckline like fallen stars.
She's a rich woman.
Arthur, her butler and head of security, a man in his 60s with a scar running down his cheek, stood by the door. The guest list is confirmed, madam, Arthur said. Mr. Dalton has RSVP'd. He is bringing Miss Rain. Olivia adjusted a diamond earring. It was worth more than the house Rick had kicked her out of. Excellent. Is the security team briefed? Yes, they are to allow him entry, but monitor him closely. He is desperate, Olivia. His financials are in ruin. He took out a predatory loan to lease a Ferrari for tonight. Olivia allowed herself a small, cold
That's why you want no
smile.
money now.
He always did care more about the packaging than the product. He thinks he's walking into a networking event, Arthur. And what is he walking into? Olivia turned from the mirror. Her eyes were
This
sharp,
person is
dangerous,
being
commanding.
in.
He's walking into a courtroom. But this time, I'm the judge.
This one
The
person
board
is
is anxious to
super
introduce you,
annoying.
Arthur
That's so
noted.
annoying.
For 5 years, you ran the company in the shadows as the
And we
architect
could take
because you didn't
some
want your massive wealth to
reason.
intimidate your husband. You dimmed your light so he could shine. I didn't just dim it, Arthur. I turned it off. I cooked his meal, washed his socks, while I was managing a on my bathroom breaks. Olivia walked toward the private elevator. Tonight, the lights come back on. The Grand Olympus Hall was a palace of glass and gold. Paparazzi lined the velvet ropes, cameras flashing like lightning storms. Limousines pulled up one by one, depositing the elite of the Western
Thinking too
world.
much, you know, you're going to
Rick
crazy.
Dalton stepped out of his leased
Live
Ferrari,
one day at a
adjusting
time.
his
Thank
tuxedo.
God.
He felt
Thank
like
God
a
that you're
king.
here.
Jessica was on
Thank
his
you,
own
Lord.
wearing a
Thank
dress
you,
that
Lord,
was a
for
bit
keeping me here.
a bit too
Still
revealing,
having
shimmering
time in my
with
room.
the flash and the elegant atmosphere of the event.
We love you, baby.
Look at them, Rick whispered to Jessica. That's the CEO of Amazon over there. And there's the governor. Smile, Jess. We belong here. They walked up the grand staircase. At the entrance, a stern woman with a tablet checked their names. Dalton. Rick said smoothly. Richard and guest. The woman paused, tapping her screen. She looked up, her expression unreadable. Ah, yes.
Is my finger cold?
Dalton. You have been placed at table 4. Table 4, Rick whispered to Jessica as they walked in. In the woods. That's near the front. That means they respect me. They entered the ballroom. It was breathtaking. A live orchestra orchestra played softly on a floating
Put it so
platform.
flat.
The centerpieces were ice sculptures of swans dripping with caviar. But as they navigated the room, Rick frowned. Table 1, 2, and 3 were front and center near the stage. But table 4 was in the back corner near the kitchen doors. It was a small round table with no centerpiece, just a generic candle. What is this? Jessica hissed, looking around. Why are we sitting next to the waiters? There must be a mistake, Rick said, his face flushing red. I'm a VIP. I'm the CEO of Dalton Tech. He grabbed a passing waiter. Excuse me. I think there's been an error. I'm supposed to be near the front. The waiter looked at his tablet. Mr. Dalton. No, sir. The instructions were specific. Table 4. Rick sat down, fuming. It's a test, he muttered. They're testing my humility before they offer me the deal. That's how these billionaires think. Suddenly the lights dimmed. A spotlight hit the main stage. The room went silent. A man in a sharp tuxedo stepped to the microphone. It was the head of operations for Aura Global, a man Rick recognized from magazines, David Sterling. Welcome, David said, his voice booming. For years, the world has speculated about the leadership of our company. You know the decisions, you see the success, but you have never seen the face of the one we call the architect. Rick leaned forward. This is it, Jess. Pay attention. Tonight, David continued, we mark a new era. She has returned to take her rightful place at the head of the table. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the president and CEO of Aura Global, my sister, Olivia Sterling. The heavy velvet curtains parted. Rick dropped his champagne glass. It shattered on the floor, but he didn't hear it. Walking out onto the stage, bathed in white light, radiating power and impossible beauty, was his ex-wife. The woman he had told to find a cashier job. The woman whose sewing room he was turning into a closet. Olivia stepped to the microphone. She scanned the crowd, her eyes locking instantly on the back corner near the kitchen. On him. She smiled. And for the first time in his life, Richard Dalton felt truly terrifyingly small. The applause in the Grand Olympus Hall was not polite. It was rapturous. It was the kind of applause that sounded like thunder rolling across a valley, vibrating in the chests of everyone present. Everyone, that is, except Richard Dalton. He stood frozen near the kitchen doors, his mouth slightly agape. The waiter he had just berated slipped away, smirking, leaving Rick and Jessica isolated in their confusion. Rick. Jessica tugged at his sleeve, her voice shrill with panic. Rick stopped staring. It's obviously a trick. It's a doppelganger, maybe a twin sister she never told you about, that woman up there. She has posture. Olivia didn't have posture. Rick didn't answer. He couldn't. He was watching the woman on the stage. His wife of 5 years, the woman who used to clip coupons for laundry detergent, command the attention of the world's most powerful people with a simple raise of her hand. Olivia leaned into the microphone. Her voice was smooth, cultured, and devoid of the hesitant stammer she used to have when asking him for grocery money. Thank you, David, Olivia said, nodding to her brother. And thank you all for coming. For a long time, Aura Global has operated from the shadows. We believed that true power didn't need a face. But the world is changing. Transparency is the currency of the future. She paused, her eyes scanning the room again. The spotlight caught the diamonds on her collarbone, making them flare. I have spent the last 5 years conducting a personal experiment. Olivia continued, her tone conversational, but laced with steel. I wanted to understand the human condition from the ground up. I wanted to see how people treat you when they think you have nothing to offer them. When you are just a name on a piece of paper, a wife in the background, a liability. A ripple of nervous laughter went through the crowd, but Rick felt the blood drain from his face. She was talking about him. I learned a valuable lesson, Olivia said, her voice dropping lower, intimate and dangerous. I learned that loyalty is rare. I learned that some people build their empires on the backs of those they consider small, never realizing that they are standing on the shoulders of giants who are simply kneeling down to tie their shoes. She's talking about you, Jessica hissed, realizing it for the first time. Oh my God, Rick. She's the billionaire. And you gave her $10,000. Shut up, Rick whispered harshly. And now, Olivia concluded, the kneeling is over. Aura Global is acquiring 3 new tech firms this quarter. We are cutting the dead weight. We are investing in integrity. Enjoy the evening. And remember, never judge a book by its cover, especially if you haven't read the fine print. She stepped back from the mic. The orchestra swelled. The room erupted into chaos as billionaires and politicians surged forward, desperate to get a word with the newly revealed architect. I have to talk to her, Rick said, snapping out of his trance. The survival instinct kicked in. He didn't feel shame yet. He felt opportunity. If Olivia was this rich, he was technically still connected to her. The divorce papers were signed, but maybe there was a loophole. Or maybe he could charm her. He had charmed her once, hadn't he? Rick, wait, Jessica called out, but he was already pushing through the crowd. He shoved past Senator Thomas O'Leary and nearly knocked over Cynthia Roth, the oil heiress. He didn't care. He had tunnel vision. He reached the velvet rope separating the VIP section from the general floor. A massive security guard with a headset blocked his path. Excuse me, Rick said, straightening his tie, putting on his best CEO voice. I need to get through. I'm family. That's my ex-wife. She'll want to see me. The guard looked down at him. Name, Richard Dalton, CEO of Dalton Tech. The guard touched his earpiece. I have a Richard Dalton at the perimeter, requesting access. He paused, listening to a voice on the other end. Rick smirked at the people watching him. It's fine, he told the curious onlooker. Just a little misunderstanding. We're very close. The guard looked back at Rick. Denied. What? Rick laughed nervously. Ask again. Tell her it's Rick. Tell her I have the... The instruction was specific, sir.
Not the same.
The guard said, his voice flat. Miss Sterling said, and I quote, the help stays in the back. Please return to table 4, or you will be escorted out. The people around them giggled. Rick felt his face burn with a heat so intense he thought he might catch fire. The help.
Wow, look at these
She had used his
videos.
own words against him.
Only
He turned
two.
around,
Not
humiliated,
exactly only
only to
two.
see Jessica
Actually, got
flirting
my
with the
channel
waiter,
deleted.
trying to
Kind
get a
of.
free refill on
See, yes, my
champagne.
channel. Kind of.
His empire was crumbling,
This was my
and he was
first
standing
one.
in the ruins wearing a tuxedo
But
he
you're
couldn't afford. But Richard Dalton was a narcissist, and narcissists don't accept defeat. They get angry. An hour later, Rick found his opportunity.
So the reason that topic
He
is
had been watching
because
Olivia like a hawk. She had been circulating the room, flanked by Arthur and David, shaking hands with people Rick had only seen on the cover of Forbes. But eventually she stepped away toward the private corridor, leading to the executive suites and the restrooms. Rick signaled Jessica to stay put. She was busy taking selfies with a confused celebrity anyway, and slipped past a distracted waiter. He ducked under a velvet rope and sprinted down the hallway. Olivia. She stopped. She didn't jump or startle. She simply stopped walking. and turned around slowly, the midnight blue velvet of her dress swirling around her ankles. Arthur, who was a few steps ahead, turned as well, his hand moving toward the inside of his jacket. Olivia raised a hand to stop Arthur. It's fine, Arthur. I expected this. Rick jogged up to her, breathing hard. Now that he was close, the transformation was even more jarring. Her skin was flawless, her makeup was professional. She smelled of jasmine and cold, hard cash. Olivia, Rick shouted, stopping a few feet away.
I'm
What is
looking
this?
at
Some kind of sick joke. Hello, Richard, she said. Her voice was cool, like a sailor running over ice. You're trespassing in the executive wing. The bathrooms for general admission are in the lobby. Cut the crap. Rick stepped closer, pointing a finger at her. You played me for 5 years. You pretended to be nobody. You let me pay the mortgage. You let me stress about bills while you were sitting on a gold mine. That's fraud, Olivia. Olivia laughed. It wasn't a happy sound. Fraud, Richard. I paid off your student loans in 2021. I funneled money into your first start through a shell company called Blue Heron Ventures because no bank would touch you. I didn't let you stress. I protected you from the reality of your own mediocrity. You were Blue Heron. Rick staggered back. That investor had saved him from bankruptcy. I wanted a partner, Rick, Olivia said, stepping forward, forcing him to step back. I didn't want a gold digger. My father, William Sterling, warned me. He said men are intimidated by power. So I hid it. I wanted to see if you loved me. Olivia the person, not Olivia the heiress. I did love you. Rick lied, his eyes darting around. No. Olivia shook her head. You loved having a fan. You loved having a maid. And the moment you got a taste of success I bought from you, you decided I wasn't shiny enough to be your trophy anymore. You traded me for a model who thinks the capital of France is Europe. Jessica is... She's supported, Rick stammered. Jessica is a line item on your expense report, Olivia corrected. And speaking of expenses, you signed the divorce agreement. Section 8, paragraph 3. Both parties waive all rights to future discovery of assets, hidden, omitted, or undisclosed prior to the marriage. Rick's stomach dropped. I didn't read that part. I know. Olivia smiled, a sharp laugh bearing
but already
Jessica's legs. You signed away your right to sue me, Rick. You signed away billions because you were in a rush to get to your merger meeting. I can still fight this, Rick threatened, though his voice wavered. I'll go to the press. I'll tell them you're a liar. I'll tell them you deceived your husband. Go ahead. Olivia shrugged. The press is currently eating out of my hand. They love a story about a strong woman escaping a toxic, ungrateful husband. In fact, Vanity Fair is doing a spread on me next week. The headline is, The Phoenix Rises. Do you want to be the villain in that story, Rick? Because right now, you're just the footnote. Rick clenched his fists. I have a meeting with Aura Global next week about the partnership. Olivia raised an eyebrow. Do you? Yes. And when I pitch my tech, your board will overrule you. My technology is undeniable. Olivia looked at him with genuine pity. Oh, Richard, you still don't get it. I am the board. But by all means, come to the meeting. I love a good comedy. She turned on her heel. Arthur released him. If he resists, break his wrist. The left one. He needs the right one to sign his bankruptcy papers later. Arthur stepped forward, cracking his knuckles. Rick didn't wait. He turned and fled back down the hallway, the sound sound of Olivia's laughter chasing him into the dark. The following Monday morning, the headquarters of Aura Global was buzzing with activity. The building was a glass monolith in the center of the financial district, towering over everything else. Rick Dalton stood in the lobby, wearing his second best suit he had returned, the tuxedo. He was sweating. Jessica had refused to come, claiming she had a migraine after reading the tweets mocking Rick's placement at table 4. "I have a 900 AM pitch," Rick told the receptionist. "Dalton Tech. 3rd floor, conference room A," the receptionist said without looking up. Rick felt a surge of hope. 3rd floor. That wasn't the executive penthouse. Maybe Olivia wasn't involved in this meeting. Maybe he was meeting with middle management. If he could just convince the engineers, they could push the deal through before Olivia noticed. He entered the elevator, practicing his pitch. Synergy, scalability, AI integration. He had the buzzwords down. The doors opened. He walked into conference room A.